good day, everybody. This is Lone Eagle 112358. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it so very much. Really do. So I want to help put the old Earth back together again. Unfortunately, I can't join these podcasts and live streaming events because night times are the worst time for me to do this stuff. I make all these videos during the day. It's just how my life is, and I just can't join you guys at the night. But I can make these small videos. I can also join you guys. Maybe I need 2 weeks notice. You know, it's probably the only way. But anyway, I'm gonna jump into Google Earth. I haven't done that in a while. I'm gonna try and put Asia back together again. Okay, and a little bit of Russia. So let's get started here. Now, the way this continent used to look to me, so I've got it centered now, right? I'll just say this. It used to come up and then down like that. Something like that, right? India, blah, blah, blah. The top of it looked like the Mercator map right here. You see right here on the left-hand side? This is the Mercator map. Look up and down. You see this continent right here? The way it's shaped? That's exactly how old Earth looked like. Okay, I'm not talking about every single nook. Okay, I have a big problem with this. This is Russia. We'll talk about that in a moment. With this here, Finland and Sweden, it's just too big. But this shape of the continent is what it looked like on Google Earth. We need to cut this out, and paste it on here, and I guarantee you that's what old Earth looked like. And then we would fix up all this other stuff that we're going to talk about in a moment. So look at the old Mercator map. That's what old Earth used to look like on Google Earth. Okay, I've said that 3 times now. Great. Now, I could get away from that map here. I just wanted you to notice something here. See on this map, on the Mercator map, to the left, see how it goes up and then down, and then it comes down and then up. Not exactly, you know, straight, but you know, kind of like a UFO shape. Well, you don't see that here. Okay, what you see on this side is up and then just almost straight down, and then up again and down. This always freaks me out. You know, every time I come to this part of the world and I see this right here, it just throws me off big time. Like, it just looks so dumb. And, you know, it just looks terrible. Well, I can't say that. It just looks off to me, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's get into this. Let's dive into Google Earth. Now, let's start with China. I don't know if a lot of you are aware, people, that this here is Mongolia, and it's just too big. Okay? It's too big. It ate up a lot of China's land. Maybe some of Russia's too, but I'm not exactly sure on Russia. But I know about China. I shouldn't have closed that. So that's Mongolia right there. Well, Mongolia should only probably be like right there. This area right here. Okay. So that's Mongolia now. Mongolia was very small. Up and then down. Something like that, give or take. Alright? That means all this land right here goes back to China. Alright? All that goes back to China. So that right there alone gives China back a lot of land. Now, I looked it up, and China has 3.5 square kilometers. Jeez, 3.5 million square kilometers of land or of area, and the States has 3.8. Well, in my timeline, China was bigger, right? Much bigger. Well, not like twice the size, but it was bigger. Here it's smaller, so I know there's a huge issue, and I know where the land is coming from and where it went. So, like I said, Mongolia is this big in my timeline, giving back all this land. That's a lot of square kilometers. Now, the second part to this is the butt. I call this the super glute of China, alright? Right there. The butt end of China. It used to come out, see where all this blue land is? It used to do that. And I've always said, oh my god, all this blue land used to be where the land was. I never see anyone talk about this part ever, okay? Something happened. Okay, so I'm gonna leave those there. I'm gonna save that. Hold on. Oh, wait. Sorry for the dead air, I didn't mean that. I got this. Alright, so this is before, and this is after, okay? Now, sorry, I don't mean to talk like your children. I don't know why I do that. I apologize. Now remember I said it used to come up, and then it used to come down, and then it would come down and join China, then back down, then back up, forming a UFO. Now, that doesn't look like a UFO because of the angle I was drawing it on, but you get the idea. Now, this tip used to be down here, okay? Now, it got ripped up north, opening this, okay? This needs to go back up into here. And you can see that it fits right there, right? And when that happened, when the tip got ripped up north, it opened this part right here. This inlet, this huge inlet. It's a sea now. This part here got ripped up north. It should be down more, okay? That's China. So all of this area got ripped up north. Shifted. Ripped. Torn. I only say ripped and torn because of this area right here and this area right here. Okay? So to me that makes a lot of sense. All this gets shifted up north, and then this gets ripped open, this gets ripped open. This right here, this old one, got stretched, pulled up, right? And created this new line. You know what I mean? Like right now, if you look at your little tiny belly, right? That's old China. Now stand up straight and suck it in. That's the new China. Okay? It's a good little example right there. Hey, I got a little tiny belly. It's cutting season though, right? Summer is here. I'm on a diet. I don't like it at all. Anti-diet. Anyway, I digress. So, let's get rid of these lines. Don't need that anymore. So let's go over this now. Let's draw old China. I want my red line back. So from everything I just said, okay, let's start with Mongolia. So Mongolia is now this big, alright? La la dee. And now we get to the big butt end, right? Now I'm gonna make some changes here, and I'll explain in a sec. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but okay. Now the reason why I skipped all this, because I'm trying to draw old China. Now I know I goofed up here. Okay, please don't take me for seriously right here, but This part right here that we see got ripped up north. I'm just trying to see what it would look like if we brought it back south a bit, okay? With this land being filled in, with the big butt end now. Look at what China looks huge, okay? Compare it to North America now. Oh God. Sorry. It's just I can't use the mouse because I've got the lines on and it'll just mess it up. Aw. Anyway, sorry for wasting your time, but look at the size of America. Oh, whoops, sir. You get it though, it's not that much off. And look at China. Which one's bigger, guys? Okay? And it's not going to be by much, because I remember in my timeline, I would look at China and be like, are you sure it's bigger? And you'd have to look at it and be like, yeah, it is a little bigger. It is. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. I never even included this part of Alaska in the numbers with this, but it's included. But anyway, that's old China, guys. Alright, so I did my best there. I hope you guys could take it and run with it. Let's talk about Japan. Japan. I don't know what this island is. I can't say for sure. I'm going to say it was a lot smaller and off onto China more. I'm also going to say it never existed. That it probably got torn off of this right here when all this tearing happened. Or maybe it's this side of, you know, Russia when it got torn off. I don't know. Okay. Chime in, guys. Let me know what you think. The only thing I know about Japan was that it had this island and this island right here with a bunch of other little islands around it. This could have been one of those little islands that just blew up in this timeline. But anyway, Japan was not on the coast of Russia the way it is right now. Never, ever, ever. Japan. So let's pretend that this butt end is over here. Okay, let's just pretend it's over there. Japan used to like hug and form, you know, with the bottom part of the big super glute of China. They went hand in hand. When you went to Japan, you were like, hey man, I might as well go to China since I'm here. But now you're like, oh, I might as well go to Russia? So let me know what you guys think. So obviously this end would be out more, and then Japan would probably be over here more. So let me know what you guys think on that. A lot of people are catching on to that. I'm seeing that in different videos now where people are pushing China south now, so that's great. You know, it's really great. And same with Russia. A lot of other people have caught on their own without even me. Like, I mentioned this like 4 times now. So just to help people see that this part is definitely right there. Like, it's not that difficult, but you know, you never know. Anyway, so that's my, oh yeah, so let's talk about North and South Korea. They're right here. They need to be down here, like right here. You see that? That's a perfect example right there. What is this little nook? This is a province island of China. I don't remember that really, but whatever. North Korea and South Korea were reminiscent. This is reminiscent of North Korea and South Korea actually, coming off the bottom part of China or on the side. It wasn't there though. North and South Korea, of all of the pieces of land that have moved on the globe, confused me the most because it used to be, this part here used to be on the other side of the super glute, not on this side, you know. I feel like it's the only part of land in the world that got detached and reattached somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's the most confusing part. Because I'm like, well, if everything got shifted north, how come maybe Korea was down here but got shifted up with it? I'm like, no, because Korea used to be on the other side of this super glute, which would make the super glute up here. So it's confusing. So Korea and North Korea need to come down. China needs to be put down here. The super glute of China, I mean Japan, sorry, Japan needs to come down here. The super glute of China needs to flex, right? And Mongolia needs to disappear, and we got old China back. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you. Love your neighbor. Love yourself. Sorry, there's people doing roofing on the house next door. Keep distracting me. And let me know what you guys think on that. You know, and I'll say this. You know, I'm gonna save these islands for another time. Islands in Australia. My next video. All right. Oh, so here, one last thing. India. I think it's much bigger now, but it's getting a rival now. So you see this continent? Here, let's go back to the Mercator map. No, that's not. It's a bad example. Now, when I said the continent used to look UFO-ish, you'd come down and you'd come back up to the tip of Russia, then you'd come back up. You know, something like, you know, UFO-ish, but, you know, I'm rushing it here. This part right here with Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, it's starting to rival India. And what do I mean by that? I mean by like the land protruding south from the continent. Okay? I've only known India to be the only piece of land sticking out. Okay? The rest just had like a bunch of bumps here, then there was China, then blah blah blah. But this huge lip should not be there. It should be sucked in more. Okay? I'll just say this now because it already connects anyway. And all these islands right here, this one, this pie looking island, that pie shaped looking island, and then this. Too damn big. They need to be shrunk to at least 60%. They were islands. They weren't mainlands. Okay? I would say Papua New Guinea was probably the biggest one. Alright? But all this needs to be shrunk down immediately. Some of this needs to actually disappear. Like this right here. I don't ever remember this. This right here looks so silly. Every time I see it, I just shake my head. I'm like, impossible. Okay? That does not look right. So this chunk of land right here is rivaling India, and it just looks dumb. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't look dumb. It does look dumb. Forget it. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Never. Alright? So let me know what you guys think on all this. Russia, Mongolia, China, Japan, Vietnam. Vietnam, Cambodia, North Korea, South Korea, and these islands. And India. There's a lot to cover, but it's tough to cover just China. Because you have to talk about this, you have to talk about China, you have to talk about North and South Korea, then this part of the island that I just showed, or not island, but part of the land right here. It's a lot. So I hope I didn't confuse people. Let me know what you guys think. These seas right now, like this sea where it's all light blue, are brand new. And that's a result from the land being torn apart. Like, comment, subscribe. Love yourself. I love you. Love your neighbor. And let me know what you think. If you have any, if you want to add or subtract or disagree or agree, whatever. Alright? Have a great day, guys. The sun is out. Lone Eagle 112358. Peace. Good day, everybody. This is Lone Eagle 112358. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it so very much. Really do. So I want to help put the old Earth back together again. Unfortunately, I can't join these podcasts. I'm gonna jump into Google Earth. Haven't done that in a while. I'm gonna try and put Asia back together again. Okay, and a little bit of Russia. So let's get started here. Now, the way this continent used to look to me, so I've got it centered now, right? I'll just say this: it used to have some live streaming events because night times are the worst time for me to do this stuff. I make all these videos during the day. It's just how my life is, and I just can't join you guys at the night. But I can make these small videos. I can also join you guys. Maybe I need 2 weeks notice. You know, it's probably the only way. But anyway, okay, I'm not talking about every single nook. Okay, I have a big problem with this. This is Russia. We'll talk about that in a moment. With this here, Finland and Sweden, it's just too big. But this shape of the continent is what it looked like on Google Earth. We need to cut this out, and paste it on here to come up and then down like that. Something like that, right? India, blah, blah, blah. The top of it looked like the Mercator map right here. You see right here on the left hand side, this is the Mercator map. Look up and down. You see this continent right here, the way it's shaped? That's exactly how old Earth looked like.